Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make Chaana Masala, which is an Indian chickpea curry. Really easy to make, really good for you, and enjoyable and tasty and all of that stuff. And this isn't going to be like one of those bullshit recipe videos where I just explain all the measurements and all this crap and how to buy a million different ingredients, because who has time for that? Hopefully this will be a simple one that anyone can follow. Usually this can be cooked in about half an hour. Anyway, so what I have here is diced onions, minced onions with some ginger in a pot, and I'm going to add some olive oil to that. And I'm going to turn on the heat and start just sweating the onions down, start sauteing the onions. Like so, okay? And then as I do that also, I'm gonna add some whole spices to begin with that will start to get heated up with the onions as the onions sweat, and it will release the flavors and aromas. So this first one here, whole cardamom, black cardamom seed from the pods. Sometimes you might have to buy the pods to crush them, but you can also buy the whole one at an Indian store. This second one I'm adding is fenugreek seed, whole fenugreek. And it doesn't really matter how much you add, you know, I mean, cooking Indian, there's no bullshit measurements really. It's just about, you know, what tastes good, and, you know, it's the feel of the individual cook. So I like a lot of the spices. So I'm gonna add this whole cumin now as well, which is the third spice. So to go over, whole coriander, whole fenugreek, then whole cumin added to the onions and the ginger that are sauteing. And now I also have some garlic over there that you can see. And I'm going to add the garlic in a little bit, because you don't want to add the garlic with everything else because it will burn. Anyway, so I'm just sweating this down now. And I'm going to put it about a couple minutes, maybe 5 to 8 minutes, just sweating them down. And I will come back and explain the rest then. Okay, so now those things have been sauteing, sweating down for a while. I've also added the garlic. It's been about 8 minutes or something like that. And I've been just constantly, you know, stirring every now and then to make sure nothing sticks. Deglaze the pan with water if you need to. Whatever. So the next step, I have some garam masala seasoning. You can get this at most grocery stores. I'm just going to put that in. And then also turmeric. And garam masala mixed with turmeric is basically really similar to, you know, it basically makes curry powder. There's some variations in the garam masala. It has like more maybe cloves and cinnamon. Curry powder is basically cumin, coriander, and turmeric, kind of. Those are the three basic ones. You can get curry powder, basically mix it in here. And so now you can see I'm kind of cooking the curry powder for a little bit with the turmeric in it, with these onions and the ginger and the garlic and those whole spices we put in before. Okay, and it's getting a bit dry. So what I have here now, the next part, I have chickpeas, okay? Canned chickpeas will do, they're easy. Don't throw out the water. You can put the water in to sort of wet the pan. Some of the chickpeas went in there, that's okay. You want to kind of just go ahead and add all the chickpeas now. We add 2 cans of chickpeas. And we keep the water, because that'll get our moisture back in the pan. And those powdered spices will cook really well with that. And then we're almost done, really. The next thing we just have to add here is the tomato paste. And so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then I'll see you in a little. Okay, so what I've done down now is I've put the tomato in there, the tomato paste, and with the chickpea water and the chickpeas. And I added a bit more water, you know, just so you don't have any sticking on the pan, just to deglaze it, you know. You don't want it to be too soupy though, so you don't want to add too much water. You want it to have kind of a stew, you know, a curry consistency. So I'm stirring it a little. I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm just gonna simmer it for a little bit, you know, on low heat. You know, a couple minutes. It doesn't really matter if you're lazy / hungry like me. You don't have to simmer it that long because the chickpeas are already cooked. Whatever. Some people like to cook them a bit longer. While this is happening, let me just show you. There's still a bit more. There's one last thing that really is key to this dish, and this is something called amchur powder. Amchur powder is basically a dried, pulverized mango. It's a good way to make this dish kind of have its natural sweetness that it's characterized by, this sort of sweet acidity, without, you know, without making it bitter. So this is the amchur powder. You can get it at the Indian store. You can get it at most any Indian store. And you put in, like, you know, a fair amount like that, maybe a bit more. And okay, I always add more of things. So now we mix that in. And you might have to add a bit more water, maybe not, that's okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna let this keep simmering. Okay, the next thing is curry leaves, which I have here. I'll show you. These are the curry leaves. You just want to finish the dish with these curry leaves. I got these at the Indian store. If you don't have curry leaves, you can use cilantro. Most people finish the dish with cilantro, but I don't have cilantro right now, so I'm just going to use curry leaves. Whatever, both are good. So I've added a couple curry leaves, and I'm just going to stir them in. You might want to let that simmer a little bit with those, a little longer. Some people, they add the curry leaves at the beginning, which is fine also. You can also finish the dish with those. I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit more water as well, just to prevent it from sticking too much. Simmer it a bit more. And so this is basically done now. You can serve this. And you serve it with brown rice. I usually serve it with brown rice. This is a rice cooker. This is some brown rice I've cooked in some bay leaves in the water, basically just to make it aromatic, because I don't like to eat, you know, bullshit white rice is not good for you. You know, like, or you can also eat it with quinoa, which I like to do. So yeah, pretty decent. It takes under half an hour to cook. Maybe give it a try. Hope you like it.